Hello, today's topic is vehicle inspections. All right, so let's discuss a pre-trip inspection and those requirements. So a pre-trip inspection is conducted prior to each trip to help identify problems that could cause a breakdown or an accident. The Federal Motor Carrier states that before driving a commercial motor vehicle, a driver must be satisfied that the vehicle is in safe operating condition, review the last vehicle inspection report, and sign the report only if defects or deficiencies were noted by the driver who prepared the report, to acknowledge that the driver has reviewed the report and certified that the repairs needed were performed. Though the regulations do not require a driver to complete a full written pre-trip report, there are several items that must be checked before hitting the road each day. Section 392.7 states that a commercial motor vehicle may not be driven until the driver makes sure the following parts and accessories are in good working order: service brakes, including trailer brake connections, the parking or handbrake, your steering mechanisms, and your lighting devices and reflectors, your tires, your horn, your windshield wipers, rear vision mirrors, coupling devices, and wheels and rims. You also have to check your emergency equipment. So it states that a commercial motor vehicle may not be driven unless the driver has checked the vehicle's emergency equipment. You're required to have fire extinguisher, spare fuses, and emergency flares or reflective triangles to make sure they are there when you might need them. We are going to discuss the 7 steps for conducting a pre-trip inspection. When you do a pre-trip inspection, the same way every time, you are less likely to forget to check an important vehicle component. Many drivers follow the 7-step method that we're going to discuss. Number 1 is a vehicle overview. This includes a check of the vehicle's general condition. Number 2 includes the engine compartment. Items that should be systematically checked include engine oil levels, coolant levels, automatic transmission fluid if applicable, hoses, belts, wires, and batteries and other electrical connections. Then, number 3, look inside the cab. This includes checking all of your gauges and controls to make sure they are working correctly and reporting normal conditions. Number 4, you'll want to check your lights. Be sure that your low beam headlights, your 4-way flashers, and your high beam headlights all are in good condition. Number 5, do a walk-around inspection. A walk-around inspection should cover the entire vehicle's exterior. The inspection should be systematic, starting with the front left side, and should continue as follows: your front, then your right side, your rear, then your left rear, your left side, and coupling system. Step 6, you're going to check your signal lights. All signal lights and stop lights should be in proper working order. And step 7 is your final brake system check. All brakes from the parking brake to service brakes should be checked to ensure they are in proper working order. Another type of inspection that you'll want to do is an on-the-road inspection. So as a driver, you are required to follow certain inspection rules while on the road. Within the first 50 miles of a trip, a commercial motor vehicle's cargo and load securing devices must be checked. Any necessary adjustments must be made at this time. This is because as you drive, things settle and shift, and you might need to adjust your cargo securement. Additionally, after the first 50 miles, the vehicle's cargo and load securing devices must be re-examined when the driver makes a change of duty status, after the vehicle has been driven for 3 hours, or after the vehicle has been driven for 150 miles, whichever comes first. On-the-road inspection rules do not apply to the driver of a sealed vehicle who has been ordered not to open the vehicle to inspect its cargo. Also, the rules do not apply to the driver of a vehicle that has been loaded in any way that makes inspection of cargo difficult or impossible. Your post-trip inspection report is required each day for each passenger carrying vehicle driven. Whenever there is a defect or a deficiency to the report, the drivers of all the other vehicles need to be aware of it. And that's why you are required to do a report for your post-trip. If there are no defects noted, you do not have to do a written report. At the end of a driver's day of work on a commercial motor vehicle, he or she must complete a post-trip inspection covering at least the following parts and accessories: service brakes, including trailer brake connections, your parking or handbrake, steering mechanisms, and lighting devices and reflectors. You need to check your tires, horn, windshield wipers, rear vision mirrors, your coupling devices, wheels and rims, and emergency equipment. Unlike the pre-trip inspection, the post-trip inspection must sometimes be documented depending on the type of vehicle involved. For passenger carrying vehicles, a report must be completed each day whether there are defects to report or not. For all other vehicles, a report is only required if a defect or a deficiency was discovered by or reported to the driver. As a side note, passenger carrying vehicles are going to be things like school buses and transportation buses, not necessarily for what we are referring to for you guys. When a report is required, the driver must identify the vehicle and list any defect or deficiency which could affect its safe operation or cause a mechanical breakdown. If no defects or deficiencies are found, that must also be noted on the report. In all cases, the driver must sign the report upon completion of the inspection. If a driver operates more than one vehicle in a day, he or she must complete a report for each vehicle operated when required. On 2 driver operations, when a report is required, only one driver needs to sign the report, provided that both drivers agree with what is written in the report. Before the vehicle can be operated again, any items listed as being defective or deficient that may affect the safety of the vehicle must be repaired. As a motor carrier, you must certify on the report that the defect or deficiency has been corrected or that the correction was not necessary to safely operate the vehicle. Additionally, you as a motor carrier must retain the original copy of each vehicle inspection report and certification of repairs for at least 3 months from the date it was completed.